Hi everyone and welcome to Kenya News K. Now, President Museveni's son, who happened to be a trained soldier also, a man who has been running a private army in Uganda, had threatened to capture Nairobi, which is the capital city of Kenya, in 2 weeks' time. And after that, there was a lot of conversation going on. People gave their reaction. And finally, after President Ruto visited Uganda, Muhoozi has finally apologized to the President of the Republic of Kenya on the statement that he had issued earlier. And people are wondering why apology or what has caused this apology. And this is what angered Kenya. There were 2 posts he did. I want us to go through it before we check on the apology that he's giving to the president. This is what he said. Ha ha ha. I love my Kenyan relatives. Constitution, rule of law, you must be joking. For us, there is only the revolution and you will soon learn about it. That was the first thing that started making Kenya to get jittered and started questioning about Muhoozi. And within a short time, a bombshell. This is what he said. It wouldn't take us, my army and me, 2 weeks to capture Nairobi. Now from there, Kenya realized that this is a man who has an intention, in fact a bad intention, with the capital city or with the country called Kenya. Because attacking Nairobi, it means you're attacking Kenya. That's now a different country because Kenya is a republic, Uganda is a republic. They all have presidents. And a man who's talking about this is a military officer and a man who's running private army in Uganda. So, we saw the president visiting Uganda, and of course he went silent, but a short while, yesterday, this is what Muhoozi has finally shared, just to apologize to President Ruto. I have never had any problem with Afande Ruto. If I made a mistake anywhere, I ask him to forgive me as his young brother. God bless East Africa. So that is apology he is giving directly to President Ruto on the first remark that he had made. Remember, Uganda, through their ambassador, said that they don't use media to operate or run their affairs. They have the channels that they use to pass the information if need be. So they were distancing themselves from what Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's son was talking about. So it is clear that Muhoozi has finally bowed to pressure his father by promoting him. In fact, in one way, it is now coming clear that he was even demoting him, because before he was a commander of an army, but now he's no longer commanding the army. There's another person who is now commanding. So his promotion, in as much he was elevated, but he cannot now give order to army like before. And finally, we know there is now business between Kenya and Uganda. As we're talking now, Kenya has bought a half of the sugar stock in Uganda. Remember, Mia's Sugar Company died. Zoya Sugar is dead. There are so many, Sony, and you can name them. There are so many. All of these companies are dead. Of course, these companies to die, there are people who had intention to make them die so that they can have business. So as we're speaking now, we have people in the President Ruto's government who are now in business with the Uganda government, because it is not Kenyan government buying this sugar. These are the sugar cartels who just got a chance now to buy sugar in Uganda and sell it in Kenya. So Ruto has already offered business to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That means he's showing brotherhood and friendship to Museveni. So the son had to apologize. But seemingly, if you look on Muhoozi, you realize that Muhoozi is more loyal to the immediate retired President Uhuru Kenyatta than to William Ruto. He's not loyal to Ruto. He is not a friend to Ruto. He has been closely visiting Uhuru Kenyatta, and even he promised that Uhuru will be visiting Uganda. But because of his statement, I don't think if Uhuru could have made a mistake to go and visit Uganda, because he had already shown that Uhuru will be soon visiting Uganda. And even in his earlier chat, he had already said that if Afande Uhuru had asked for third term in office, then he was certain that they were going to win that election. Well, what does that one tell you? It means he was in support of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But now, fun enough is that Museveni has been a friend to Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember some of the language he used to describe Raila Odinga when he came for inauguration of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The language wasn't good. It was terrible. And he was holding a photo of Raila Amolo Odinga when he was describing Raila Odinga. That's how, to an extent, Museveni was to Uhuru Kenyatta, because Uhuru was his friend. And now we have William Ruto, who seemingly is borrowing a leaf from Museveni, who is also his good friend. So they have been friends. But now the funny thing is that the son is on one side, the Uhuru side, and not the William Ruto's side. But there are things that connect Muhoozi to Uhuru than connecting him to Ruto. Because for him, he's a prince, a son of the president. Uhuru was also a prince, is also a prince, a son to a former president. So there is that connection there. But Ruto is not a prince. So Muhoozi's mind of continuously governing a country by one family, that idea is still deep in his mind. Because even he think before his father retire, he need to take over from the father. That is his mind. So he think leadership is for family. So you inherit leadership. So I think in the same line, he want to take Uganda too, because I know he will attempt to take over from his father. So Uhuru Kenyatta should do the same. Because his father was president, he should continuously lead Uganda. So those are the things maybe he was focusing on, but unfortunately, in Kenya we have a constitution. Of course, we have to respect it, and if you want to attempt to change some of the issues here so that someone can run for an office more than 2 terms, then you will need a referendum, and that means we go, hey, turudi kwa ballot. That's how far we can go. So there was no way Uhuru was going to contest for that term in the office. His tenure in office was over, unless if he was to cause anarchy in Kenya. Unfortunately, Uhuru respects the law. He was not ready to cause anarchy. He was ready to hand over. So Museveni's son has finally apologized to Kenyan President William Samoei Ruto. So he's no longer coming to capture Nairobi. In fact, he was asking where should he stay with his wife when they have captured Nairobi. He was asking the people to tell him where to stay. So that chapter has been closed. And I think moving forward, Muhoozi should also check on some of the statement that he is issuing, because people will sometimes back or later remind him on the kind of statement he was issuing about Kenya. Because already there was an angle between Kenya and Uganda. There are Kenyans who are doing business in Uganda who are not comfortable with that statement. There are Ugandans who are doing their business in Kenya who are not comfortable with Muhoozi's statement. But you see, as of now, with the apology he has issued, he has made things easier. And I think even the business community, Uganda's business community in Kenya, will be comfortable as of now. And the Kenyan business community in Uganda will be comfortable. And I think that's the direction to go. And Museveni should just warn his son, so that he's not among the people who seemingly can cause havoc in East Africa. Let's assume one day he becomes the president. So how will people see him in his first statement? Thank you so much for listening to me up to this far. May good God bless you. See you in our next video. But please remember to subscribe to this channel, and again subscribe to Stureh Punchline. On Stureh Punchline, we analyze politics. So if you are looking for Jewish political analysis, please go to Stureh Punchline. Otherwise, thank you so much. Give our video a thumbs up and see you in our next video.